Just play the damn thing.
So my friends at Vangoa sent me this here powered pedal board. This is a pedal board called the PDM. And I'm going to share it with you guys here today. So, without further ado, let's see what is in the box. This is a sponsored video. Yes, I am being paid to share this product with you guys. However, I am not being paid to share my opinion because my opinion is not for sale, and that was made very, very clear with the folks at Vangoa before they ever popped this thing in the mail to me. Yeah, got it for free. Hell yeah. Free shit. Yeah, got it for free. So if you don't like watching sponsored videos on products that you have no other ways of gathering information on, I don't know what to tell you. Start your own YouTube channel. So, without further ado, let's see what's in the box. Alrighty. So, start, lots of cardboard, yada yada. Comes much like their acoustic, and I did expect this. By the way, I demoed their one of their acoustic guitars last year, which is at a very, very affordable price point. And I was really, really impressed with that. If you want to check out that video, I'll put a link up here in the card as well as down in the description because that was a killer piece of gear for the money. And so far, this one is starting out the same way. So in here now, all we got left is an empty box. But the case that this pedal board comes in is also, much like the acoustic guitar, really, really nice. I mean, I can tell already there's a ton of padding on the inside of this thing. And open it backwards away from me for camera viewing purposes. And we got our traditional Velcro strips there, which are used to attach pedals. I'm not going to use them because I hate Velcro. But for those that do use Velcro to build their pedal boards, they come with plenty, looks like more than enough to cover, I'm assuming it's going to be enough to cover the entire surface of the pedal board itself. There's also a basically an instruction manual on how to connect your pedals and build a pedal board and all that kind of stuff. If you are unfamiliar with how to do that, AC power adapter and power cables. Again, this is a powered pedal board. And the user manual, Q&A on the very last page says, is the power supply isolated? To which it says, yes it is. Can I stand on it? It's hard to say. Anyway, the pedal board is designed to be stepped on but not stood on. It's safer, etc. It's basically saying it's sturdy but not indestructible, which is pretty obvious, I think. Why the indicators are off. Examine the potentiometer, how to close the LEDs, etc., etc. All right. And last but not least, there it is. There is the pedal board itself and all of its glory. Kind of weird. It's even got like luggage straps of some kind on the inside. So I'm assuming that those are to strap your pedal board down once you got everything loaded up on the inside of it. There's also a pocket here on the inside of the board, or on the inside of the bag rather. So that'd be a good place to keep your power supply and Velcro strips and stuff, which is what I'm going to stick in here just to get them out of the way, since I'm not going to use them. And looks like about it for the case. Still very sturdy. And another pocket on the backside, some kind by the looks of it. And backpack straps. You can set those up to be backpack straps, should you want to carry your pedal board on your back. Last but not least, here is the board itself. See that there is the power switch. Obviously, I don't have anything plugged into it, any power plugged into it yet. It also even has an input and output on it. So this thing may have some kind of MIDI control on it. I don't know. We'll have to get into that. And also, it's got built-in feet here on the bottom, which I think hopefully you can see right here. There's one there and one there. To obviously tilt the board upward. And last but not least, I think you can see in there from your angle, these are your power outputs. And just going over here, there's a knob right here that I'm going to assume is maybe like a sag knob or an adjustable milliamps knob for some of the controls. Again, I will get into that when we build this thing. And last but not least, we got 10 300 milliamp 9 volt outputs, one 12 volt milliamp, one 500 milliamp 12 volt output, and one 500 milliamp 18 volt output Again, these are all the 9s. That's the 12 and that's the 18. So this thing will cover a fair amount of ground. You know, there's probably going to be some pedals at 500 milliamps, you know, especially in the 12 and the 12 and the 18 volts might not cover, but generally speaking, this thing will cover a lot of ground. So, again, I'm going to read up on a thing or two with this thing, and then we're going to build a pedal board together. Okay, so I've got this whole thing built roughly for the purposes of this video, and all set up. So it's a little messy, but like I said, this is not a permanent pedal board for me. This is just set up so I can show you guys how it works, and more specifically, that there is no noise coming through this thing at all. So first thing to point out here is these the LEDs. You see them kind of lighting up and bouncing back and forth with my voice, and the reason is there's actually an internal microphone on this thing. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of that is, but what I do know is that that little knob that I showed you earlier before I put everything on it, I thought it might be a sag control, which if you don't know what that is, that's a control that kind of emulates the sound of battery powered pedals as opposed to AC. But it's not that at all. What that is, that actually controls the amount of input and output signal. And if you use see if you can see it here, the input and output on the board itself, I didn't set that up because there's not really much point in doing so. But if you set that up, that will actually that turns the LEDs on the board itself into an input indicator. Indicating how much, what your input level is. So, for example, in a recording environment, that can be pretty handy. You would just need to, figure out basically a stereo output from the amplifier to do so. Anyway, now that I've got this thing all set up and powered up and all that kind of stuff, I'm currently running into my Randall RD20 head. The speakers are the speaker cabinet is a Seismic Audio 212 cabinet with a pair of veteran warehouse guitar speakers, veteran 30s in it, mic'd up with a Shure SM57. And as the saying goes, here's my clean tone. Relatively quiet given all of the high gain stuff that the signal's running in and out of. The pedals that I'm using here, this is my Morley Bad Horsey wah. The Full Tone OCD. The Peppers Pedals Satanist Distortion, one of the best metal distortion pedals on the planet. If you want to hear those two together. Satanist admittedly does need a whole lot of tightening up. And here we have the Jupiter Effects Super Weirdo, which, as the name implies, is a weird-ass pedal. Basically, it's a fuzz, a weirdo fuzz on steroids. And by the way, these 4 pedals here are running straight into the front, and these 5 modulation pedals here in the back are going into the effects loop. So, go back to the Satanist distortion, and I've got my my KFK EQ, 10-band EQ set up as a boost, a clean boost in the effects loop. Blood Moon phaser. Flanger on top of it. Blood Moon phaser here, and now this is the Boss BF3 flanger, obviously. The New X Mini Super Chorus, which is their clone of the TC Electronic Super Chorus flanger SCF thing from way back when. And my new favorite compact delay pedal, the Walrus Audio Fundamental Delay. So we get a little bit of noise when we kick all the gain stuff on together. That's obviously not unusual. That's the pedals though. That's not the board. Add the boost. And the wah. And it gets all kinds of crazy, out of control, useless, noisy. Turn that off though, and again, really no noise. It's relatively quiet, and there's nothing. I hear just a little bit of hiss coming out of the amplifier, but honestly, I think that's mostly just because either this cheap cable that I've got plugged in, or likely just the signal running through all these high gain pedals. Okay, so this pedal board is currently listed on Amazon for $129.99. There are plenty of other pedal boards out there in that price range that are similar size. I don't know of any of them that are powered pedal boards. Certainly not isolated powers, and certainly not, a lot of powered pedal boards just got these great big giant clunky clunky power supplies built into them, like the big SKB ones. I mean, powered pedal boards are they're to find a good one that's actually practical is has become pretty hard, which is why so many people prefer unpowered these days. But this would, one, save you the pedal board space of needing to use your own power supply, and number two, with the onboard power supply, the really nice soft case that it comes with, as well as all the necessary power cables and the Velcros and all that stuff, everything that all the features that it has, it's a really good value, So. And also, I also happen to see on Amazon right now there's currently a $10 off coupon should you buy it there. I'll have links to this where you can buy this pedal board on Amazon down in the description as always, as well as any active promos going on. As this video is being recorded, Black Friday is just around the corner, so there will very likely be a promotion for that down in the description. If you're watching this video not during the holiday season. If I'm updated by Vangoa, I will of course update those promotions down in the description as well. But yeah, overall, yeah, man, Robert approved. Good value, good board. If you're looking for something fairly simple, I wish it had a riser on the back to make stomping on the pedals in your back row a little bit easier. That's kind of you know, that's one of my favorite features of any pedal board if I can find it. But check out the links down in the description. Comment down below. Adios.